guys, welcome to the Adventures of Kangaku, and today I am bringing you something different, not one of my awkward random vlogs, if that's what you would call a vlog. It's basically just storytelling of things that happen in my day. It's not really a vlog. I wish it was. But anyway, I wanted to bring to you guys today something that I think is important to talk about, and I think it could help somebody. I don't know. But I wanted to share with you guys my coming out story. So here goes nothing. Okay, so it was the middle of 7th grade that I had come out to the school. Wasn't really intentionally to come out to everybody though. What had happened was my friend, who I will not name her name, but she was my friend at the time, and we were in art class. And I was sitting at her table talking to her, and one thing led to another, and then she was talking about, like, yeah, I'm bisexual. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm fully supportive. And she was like, are you by any chance? And I was just like, yeah. And I hated doing that. And I hate it even more, like, going back and thinking on that moment now. Because, like, a lot of stories I've heard of coming out stories, like, people generally think it'll be an easier route by saying you're bisexual, because they think that, like, your parents and your friends could take it easier, knowing that, like, the common person you're supposed to be attracted to, you're still attracted to them, but you might be, like, there's a possibility of you marrying somebody of the same sex. So, it seems like an easier route, and I feel so bad because there are people that, like, are actually bisexual, and I feel so bad because I know that there are people that identify as bisexuals, and I feel really bad because it makes it seem like it's a lie, and it's not. But anyway, moving on. Sorry. So I told her, like, yeah, I am. And I hadn't really come to terms with my sexuality quite yet. I knew that what I was saying was wrong, but at the time, it sounded like it was an okay thing to say. I don't know how to describe it. But, of course, it was a mistake to tell her, or sometimes the greatest mistake I ever made, because it could have been bad, it could have been good. It's both good and bad. Because, lo and behold, she went and told the whole school, basically, that I was. And the following days after, and throughout the rest of the year, I had people coming up to me and asking, yeah, hey, there's a rumor going around school, I just wanted to clarify that it was true. And I was like, yeah, it's true, I am. And the rest of that year followed, like, not much hate, really, but judgmental looks. And there were also a lot of people that were supportive as well. So it was a good thing that I did come out to the school, because eventually I would have had to. Well, at least I felt like I had to, because for me, I feel like it would have been the good thing to do, to tell everybody, like, hey, this is me. I'm me. I want you guys to know. I want to share that part of me with you. And I would have felt like just kind of in this box space if I didn't express how I was. But, coming out of the closet, rather. But coming into 8th grade, it got more difficult because it wasn't just me in 8th grade then. It was the two of us, me and Taylor, because that's whenever she moved there, and so on and so far, our relationship builded, and then we finally started dating, and everybody knew about it because it was kind of an eye-catcher, because you don't see that many relationships like that. It's not common, unfortunately. That sounds really bad, but, like, you don't see it often. Anyway, so that's how I came out to the school. To my parents, on the other hand, it was, I don't know, maybe a month or two after me coming out to the school. Not my option. It also wasn't my option to come out to school either, but what had happened was rumor got around and it followed up the grades, and my brother heard about it, my older brother Brandon, and we were getting off the bus one day and he's like, Kayla, is what I've been hearing true? And I was like, what do you mean? And I had to explain to him what was going on, and he went home, like he started running at a sprint, and I remember this. He ran at a sprint towards the house because we were walking up the road, and I was like, oh God, what is he doing? And then whenever I got home, I walked through the doors, and my parents, they kind of yelled, and they were just like, Kayla! And it kind of forced me to stand in front of them and explain, yeah, I'm bisexual, I like boys and girls, and only to make it harder in the future for me to come out as gay, made it really hard. But my mom was completely supportive. My dad, on the other hand, he goes back and forth still to this day between supportive and not supportive, and being supremely anti-gay to super supportive and really like happy for me and Taylor and me being me. My hair is doing all sorts of things right now. I'm sorry. But essentially, I did have really bad days where me and my dad would get into it, and he'd just throw Bible verses at me, pull out the Bible, and point to Leviticus and other sections that he thought would contradict who I was and change me somehow. But it wasn't as bad as other stories I've heard. Of course, there is a little bit of mean people at the school. You probably heard of it in my vlogs, me talking about mean people at school especially, and it gets so bad sometimes that we have to go to the counselor, me and Taylor, and talk about certain things that happen, and it's just, it's unacceptable. But I know last year in 9th grade, because I'm fixing to start 10th grade, in 9th grade, we had found a note that was saying that we were bad role models to younger children, and that we were going to burn in hell, and just all these just hateful things, like we were teaching the kids bad things by holding hands, and I remember being so mad that I started crying, and it's once you start crying like that, you can't stop crying, and I knew everybody knew that I found it, and nobody, like, we didn't, and still this today we don't know who wrote it. I mean, we have ideas of who might have wrote it, but the person got away, and of course, but it was a note that somebody had found in the hallway, and this girl named Bree brought it up to us one day, and she's like, I found this in the hallway, and I thought that you guys might want to see it because it's pretty bad. And she walked away, and me and Taylor read it, and we were outside. It was after lunch, and we were just outside, like on the patio cement slab thing, and we read it, and everybody was watching us, like all eyes were on us, around me and my friend group that was with us, like Jasmine, and I think Caitlin was there. But it was just so hurtful because everybody was watching us, and I didn't know what to do. So we went straight to the counselor afterwards whenever the bell rang, and it was just a bad day. That's one of the incidents. But it is really, really bad to go through that hatefulness and it's not okay. It's never okay to have to go through anything like that, in my opinion. And I think that should be everybody's opinion, but that's my opinion. Um, Nobody deserves to be subject to hateful comments, and you guys should know this. But yeah, that's essentially my coming out story. And then later on to my parents, I had to explain to them that I was dating a girl and that I had been dating her for this amount of time and that I was not bisexual. And it was really hard to do because my dad's like, you're gonna make up your mind, and I was just like, you'll never understand, I guess. I can't explain it. But anyway, no sad stories, because you guys know how long me and Taylor have been together. Actually, it just passed our anniversary. Hold on. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. We've been together a year and 9 months now. And Monday we start back school. So yeah. Okay. I will see you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed this video, or if it helps you to know that you're not alone in suffering, and I'm still going through school, so and maybe more, because I'm actually going to have classes with upperclassmen this year, and I'm terrified, because I remember last year we did surveys, and the higher up the grades went, the more non-supportive and scary they got. So I'm absolutely terrified but excited. I'm scared excited. Anyway, I feel like this video has dragged on for too long. I love you guys, and I will see you later, or whenever I make another video or something. Okay, bye.